死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君はまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
何度スライドまで。
ゼロ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかも。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう見張らせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another exciting episode of Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here in the house. What's going on? It's Friday. I've done a lot of streaming, and let's see, my social battery is getting pretty low, but it's, you know, we'll make it through. We'll make it through because there's a lot to talk about. I did see this right here, and very sad news from the chat. Maggot Vomit, who you've heard me have a back and forth with in the chat. Jeremy, this is Maggot Vomit's wife. I just wanted to let you know that he passed away today due to a heart attack. He enjoyed watching your live shows and liked picking on you because that's what buddies do. I am so sorry to hear that. Man, yes, we had a lot of good back and forths. Prayers up for you. Thank you for letting us know. Really do appreciate it. You coming in here, and it's a difficult time. And so we just want to offer nothing but thoughts and prayers to you and your family. And that is awful to hear. But thank you for allowing us to have that information so we can give you the condolences that you deserve. So rest in peace to Maggot Vomit. That is awful. So sorry to hear that. So sorry indeed. So throw some love in the chat. And really, really sorry to hear that. Awful to hear. Monica Sherman says pre-chat clown tax. So if you and Maggot Vomit would appreciate this, that we have new memes. He appreciated the memes. We do have a new meme, a clown meme that someone tried to call me a clown earlier and misspelled the word clown. And so here we are with the clown IDOTs. And I do appreciate the new memeage. I see you, Dan Campbell. Actually, Dan, you left a comment earlier. Let me see if I can find that comment. Your comment was really nice. Let me see if I can find it. I got to go to the earlier stream because I do look at the comments on the streams afterwards. Half of them are people telling me I'm a dumb piece of shit, and those are the people that like me. And then the rest of the comments are people that hate me. Let's see here. How do you look at the comment section on YouTube anymore on desktop? It's crazy. Right here. Okay. This was a funny one right here. Okay. Dan Campbell says, let's see here. He says, Jeremy, there's a serious issue we need to address. You have completely ruined YouTube for me. I go off to watch other channels and it's just not the same. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried, but you're a drug. RFK should ban you. You're highly addictive. What a nice thing to say. You didn't even call me gay or anything, which we know Maggot Vomit would have. Again, RIP. But yeah, so thank you, Dan. That's pretty good. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But thank you, man. Packet Proton says Tucker Carlson is reportedly strongly considering running for president. Is that something he said in the Piers Morgan interview? So, because because I have not watched the Piers Morgan thing. I would like to get some highlights. I don't want to sit through the whole entire thing. You know what I mean? But we'll see if we can find some things to check out. By the way, we are closing in on MegaCon, and I love this graphic that I hope I'm going to give proper credit. I think My Nerdy Home put this graphic together, and this thing looks awesome. So I'd like to see more stuff like this. I love the style. It's kind of got like a retro kind of style to it, but it also has, you know, like a good personality to it. So this is really good. Jess said she did. Okay. Then great job from Steph. She did a great job on this. So yeah, I'm digging it though. All right. But anyway, that's the breakdown. We have an article over there on geeksandgamers.com that if you're going to be in Orlando, there's a lot going on and a lot of us will be here. So hopefully you guys and gals will be there to check it out. Can't wait. Packet Proton says, I want to see The Boat clown movie tax. Tommy says, happy Jessica. Corrected it. Little Jim Taylor says, looks like one of Jasmine Crockett's security detail was a criminal impersonating law enforcement and was ended by Dallas SWAT. Dems love criminals. We're actually going to talk about that. And since you brought it up, maybe we'll go ahead and get into it right now. Nandy 450 says reports of military targets being hit and destroyed located on, is it Karg Island? Seems that Strait of Hormuz will be open soon. Hopefully this movement of 5,000 troops into the Middle East is just a show of force. But at this point, who knows? Honestly, I don't know if the only person that knows is President Trump. He's the only one. And this is a big story that I have, pulled up. And Maggot Vomit says, let's see, love you guys. This was my final good night chat. So there we go. Again, that's Maggot Vomit's wife, letting us know that viewer passed away from a heart attack. So again, prayers are up for you. Thank you for letting us know. And thanks to the chat for offering condolences as well. So thank you so much for all of that. But yes, this story, I do have this story pulled up and we're going to discuss this, Nandy. Absolutely going to discuss that. First, let's talk about this Jasmine Crockett situation. So this is pretty wild, okay? Jasmine Crockett's security guard was killed after an armed standoff with Dallas SWAT. He was known as Mike King, wanted for impersonating a LEO. So he was killed Wednesday after he fled cops, barricaded himself in a vehicle, was tear gassed, then pulled a gun. There you have it.
These images of Mike King stand.
Now, I'm sure that the media is going to spin this and go, well, he was only impersonating a law enforcement officer because they will come after him if they don't. If they think he's one of them, he won't. Like, what are you talking about? Like, impersonating a law enforcement officer is the absolute, like, easiest way, okay? Easiest way to F around and find out.
These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night. Police say he was chased into a hospital parking garage where he barricaded himself inside a vehicle before he was forced out by tear gas and pulled a gun on officers.
I can't imagine Jasmine Crockett being someone that would surround herself with a criminal. I'm just so shocked. I can't believe that. Jasmine Crockett, of all people. Can you believe that, chat? I can't. I mean, let's pull up some Jasmine Crockett hood original comments from her. Let's see what we can find here. Is this her right here? Yeah, right here. Here we go.
It is about reclaiming who we are. They want to try to act like we are the outsiders, but the last time I checked, we ain't no colonizers.
She.
The last time I checked, they took us from our homeland. But this is the only home that we know. And they have sold us a promise of America that meant that we would all have an opportunity. But right now, a lot of people's dreams are being dashed.
Shit. So again, we're not going to listen to all that garbage, but I wanted to point out that, yeah, not surprising at all. That Jasmine Crockett security guard killed after an armed standoff with Dallas SWAT. So he was known as Mike King, wanted for impersonating a law enforcement officer. He was killed Wednesday after he fled cops. After he fled cops. I'm reading this wrong. He was killed Wednesday after he fled cops, barricaded himself in a vehicle, was tear gassed, then pulled a gun. So there you have it. Mike Kang. So there you have it. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? It's only like, I mean, are we sure that there was no MAGA hats involved? Are we sure that this wasn't 2 a.m.? Are we sure there was no subway? I'm sure there's a narrative that they can build out of this. I'm sure there's a racist narrative that we can build. I mean, come on. Let's make it happen. But there's that. Now, next up on the list of things to talk about was what Nandy had brought up. And that is that President Trump, he's not messing around. He is not messing around at all. He's kind of at the point where sounds like a man that was shot at, sounds like a man that they tried to lock up, sounds like a man that had an election stolen from him, and he's at a point where he just does not care. Moments ago, at my direction, United States Central Command executed one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East and totally obliterated every military target on Iran's crown jewel, Karg Island. I think I'm saying that right. Our weapons are the most powerful and sophisticated that the world has ever known. But for reasons of decency, I have chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island. However, should Iran or anyone else do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of the ships through the Strait of Hormuz, I will immediately reconsider this decision. During my first term and currently, I rebuilt our military into the most lethal, powerful, and effective force by far anywhere in the world. Iran has no ability to defend anything that we want to attack. There is nothing they can do about it. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, nor will it have the ability to threaten the United States of America, the Middle East, or, for that matter, the world. Iran's military and all others involved with this terrorist regime would be wise to lay down their arms and save what's left of their country, which isn't much. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Holy crap. He is on point. Here we go.
The president said, watch what happens to these deranged scumbags today. And he wasn't kidding. Moments ago, Central Command executed one of the most powerful raids in the history of the Middle East, totally obliterating every military target in Iran's crown jewel, Karg Island. For reasons of decency, the president says he's chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island, but says if Iran interferes with oil flows on the Strait of Hormuz, he'll immediately reconsider his decision.
A lot of big hits today, a lot of big wins today, as you probably have heard militarily. And I think it's going very well and very good control. We'll see what's happening with the Straits. They continue to try and sabotage their own country in the Middle East, but it's been very, very strong militarily.
Karg Island's Iran's main oil export terminal. 90% of its oil sales flow out of that island. It's basically the country's biggest cash register, and Trump just hit everything next to it. We told you yesterday, effing with the Strait made Trump more dug in, and we know when Trump draws the red line, he means it. This type of tactical precision strike at the heart of the Iranian economy sends a message. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Ball's in the mullah's court. Trump reiterating a call to lay down your arms and surrender before it gets worse. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, promises to unleash the heaviest night of firepower of the war. Listen.
Today will be our heaviest day of kinetic fires across the operating area. CENTCOM continues to attack ballistic missile and drone capabilities so that they are no longer a threat to U.S. forces, our bases, or our partners. We've attacked over 6,000 targets, and our strike packages continue to launch every hour.
The Secretary of War says we're dialing it up, a 20% increase in strikes. And 99% of the strikes are when we're flying right over the target. And the intel picture is crystal clear.
Our intelligence just gets better and better. That feedback loop feeds itself. And as we refine those targets, it exponentially increases what we can hit and why, to include strategic things the world's talking about and looking at. And it's our job to have a plan for it, which we do, to address it and ensure that the president has options. We've done that from the beginning in this department.
The largest aerial campaign in decades is happening right now. Hundreds of fighters and bombers, F-35s, B-52s.
And, you know, I know we've been kind of spotty on what was going on with the new Ayatollah. And there's been a lot of speculation as to where he's at. Is he injured? We've seen the memes and all of that. And again, there's a time for joking and there's a time to be serious. And so you guys know that it'll take that very seriously. So we do have exclusive footage of the Ayatollah right now. This is a Cobra Cast exclusive. So here we go. For the first time, this is it.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
High in the sky. And more doomsday bombers are surging into theater, capable of carrying 70,000 pounds of munitions each. The mission, eliminate the Iranian military and its ability to rebuild. And here comes the Warhogs, just spotted over Iran's air.
All right, see, you know, this person right here knows. Hang on. Let me see if Cobra Cast exclusive. Oh, so it's not serious. You watch enough, you get it. You know what's going on around here. So you know what's going on.
Airspace. These are close air support planes that fire 30-millimeter shells at a clip of 70 a second. Absolute destruction, targeting radar, mobile launchers, and boats. Above all these planes, the U-2 Dragon Lady, flying beyond the reach of any Iranian weapon, just gathering intel, our eye in the sky. And for the first time in history, we launched the mother of all precision strike missiles on the mullahs.
In just the first 13 days of this operation, our artillery forces have made history. They fired the first precision strike missiles ever used in combat, reaching deep into enemy territory. They've used Army ATACMS to sink multiple ships, including a submarine, and they've done all of this with the precision and determination that comes from relentless training and trust in each other and in their weapon systems.
The target, Iran's military-industrial complex.
Soon and very soon, all of Iran's defense companies will be destroyed. For example, as of 2 days ago, Iran's entire ballistic missile production capacity.
All of these, so I've heard some discussion going on earlier, and it's like, do I think that there's some confusion? Do I think that there's some bad messaging from the administration over this? I think that that's a fair criticism. I think that there are, you know, there's a lot of questions that, you know, people have, and I don't think that we've gotten very clear answers. But ultimately, I think that this is going to, I mean, my personal opinion is that I think we are less than 2 weeks away from this being completely over. Personally, Trump's playing with fire, because if this lasts months, I think it's very bad for him. I think it's extremely bad for him for various amount of reasons, but I don't think that that's going to happen at all. I also think that he is being counter-signaled by so many people, so it's hard to actually cut through the bullshit. There's so many people, but the problem is some of the people that are counter-signaling him are people that he had a good relationship with. And you have to ask your questions like, why is Tucker Carlson going to come to the White House as many times as he's come if he's just going to do nothing but counter signal the president as many times? And he's done this for a while now. And Trump keeps bringing him to the White House. So there's a lot of people that Trump granted interviews to, that Trump has given access to, that are counter signaling him way too much. And it's frustrating from that perspective too. But Hegseth doing a fantastic job.
Every company that builds every component of those missiles has been functionally defeated, destroyed. Buildings, complexes, and factory lines all across Iran destroyed.
We're decimating their defense industry. This would be like if someone wiped out Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, their headquarters, all their production plants. We're still in phase 2 of Operation Epic Fury. The defense
like Tim Pool, his entire show tonight was Trump. Oh, bashing Trump. Really? Like, who did he have on? That's interesting. I mean, well, Tim leans into whatever the Google trend is. So whatever the Google analytics are telling him. Oh yeah, Michael Malice on. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Tim truly does not have a political belief that he can't shift around or whatever. He rides the fence for a reason.
Industrial base is going to get pounded, and so the regime can never rearm. The Iranian leader, Nepo Khamenei, has no response. He's hiding in a cave, nursing his wounds.
Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground, cowering. That's what rats do. We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured.
Reports say Ayatollah Jr. is comatose. Sources say 1 or 2 of his legs may have been cut off and his liver or stomach ruptured. The Ayatollah, who has the personality of a boiled potato, might be a vegetable. Another report says he's unaware of the war and has no idea he's the supreme leader. The Ayatollah's son might not be even able to cry uncle. Trump told the G7 this: I got rid of a cancer that was threatening us all. Nobody knows who is the leader, so there is no one that can announce surrender. The Iranian.
Trump did say today, I'd have to find it, but he said today that the war will end when he feels it in his bones or something like that. Let me see if I find that clip from Trump. Jesse Waters may play it, but that's got a lot of people like on edge. That's literally what Trump does. Okay, right here. Okay. Here we go.
I'm doing something about it. And I had to take an excursion. We had the greatest economy in history. We still do. Oh, this will bounce right back. When it's over, and I don't think it's going to be long, when it's over, this is going to bounce right back so fast.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
Will you ask anybody in particular? Would that be some of the a joint decision?
Well, I deal with people. I have great people.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing something.
So people are really upset about that one. They're like, what does that even mean? It means you'll never be able to plan against him. It means he's not going to tell you what his thoughts are. It means he's not going to tell you what his fucking plan is. It means you need to live in fear of crossing President Trump. That's what it means. Simple as that. And if you don't understand that, then you're never going to understand it. But that's exactly what that means. That's classic Trump right there.
Are running out of options. The only card they have left to play is hassle the Strait.
Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Their missiles, their missile launchers and drones being destroyed or shot out of the sky. Their missile volume is down 90%. Their one-way attack drones yesterday, down 95%. And as the world is seeing, they are exercising sheer desperation in the Straits of Hormuz. Something we're dealing with. We have been dealing with it and don't need to worry about it.
Master of None says, sent you a DM with the updated clown meme, RIP maggot vomit, RIP indeed. And here is the updated clown IDOT meme. Hell yeah. That's what's up. We need to get some merch. We need to get some merch rolling with the clown IDOT. I like it. That's freaking great. So more memes, more merch. Freaking awesome. So that's good stuff right there. Hell yeah. So if you were not here earlier in the stream or for the earlier stream, someone in the chat called me a clown. All right. But they misspelled clown. This is how they spelled clown. And so there you have it now. So now clown IDOTs of the 199 right there. That's good stuff, man. Hit up Tommy on Twitter, or I'm sure he followed you, but any of this art stuff, man, let him know about it. But he's talking about doing some stuff. We'll keep you posted on that. But heck yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Gabriel Knight says Trump wins. Yes, Trump does. He does win. Cardboard Beardo with $1. Crazy Clown Tail says, I'm a clown IDOT. Gregory says, all hail the 199. Beastie Man says, the fact that I was this close to blocking maggot vomit for being an IDOT at times. Now this happens. Wow. RIP. Life is precious, man. Life is precious. So, thank every day that you are here. Thank the Lord for every breath you take, because none of us know when it's going to be our last one, man. Harley Dave says clown tax. Is this the new tax way now? Is that it? Let's see. Dark Red Knight says, you seen Hassan crashing out at a vet in his chat? I have not seen this. It's on Asman's clip channel. Okay. I don't keep so I have Hassan muted. I have Hassan's name muted because I think he's the most cringy person on the internet, but I'll check it out. I'll check it out on Asma's channel.
And this just in, the United States moving 10,000 Ukrainian drone interceptors into the region, which should bring the alliance's drone knockdown rate to almost 100%. On the ground, the Iranian population is starting to make some moves. According to the IDF, ordinary citizens are now supplying Israel with intel about drone strike targets. The Israelis have been relying on this all week as they've been hitting checkpoints in the capital. Several members of the Iranian security forces have been killed. Desertion's already a factor, and it's bound to get worse after the regime's bank got bombed this Friday.
Oh, boy. Our good friend just showed up. Of course, you have Hassan muted because you don't want to learn anything. So you can't spell and you're emotional.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You're retarded. Oh.
There's always one in the chat. There's always one.
Friday, there was no payday. Meanwhile, our guys are doing what they do best.
They spoke with the sense of calm pride, purpose, and clarity that tells you clearly they understand the weight of what they're doing and the people who depend on them. I asked these youngsters, these young, awesome Americans, what does that feel like? And one of them just looked at me and said, it's awesome. No drama, no hesitation. When I asked these soldiers yesterday, what is it that you need from the secretary and I, they looked at each other, paused for a moment, and looked back at me and said, more rounds, sir. It was awesome.
The commander-in-chief's been very clear about the mission. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they can't threaten American interests with missiles, ships, and drones. The men and women in uniform understand that. And for the first time in a long time, the commander-in-chief has a clear objective and an exit strategy.
And I had to take an excursion. We had the greatest economy in history. We still do. Oh, this will bounce right back. When it's over, and I don't think it's going to be long, when it's over, this is going to bounce right back so fast.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
The Iranians are...
I love when he talks like this because, again, I want to be clear. I would say 80% of all of my Trump fandom is built around laughing at people that get offended over something Trump says or does. Now, I like Trump. I'm obviously a fan of Trump, okay? But I have become a bigger fan of the reaction to Trump because it's just so entertaining. Every time the man says something, I know people are going to cry. I know they're going to whine. I know they're going to lose it. I know they're going to screech, and the thing that makes them even more angry, what I've learned, the thing that makes them more angry than Trump saying something is for someone to not apologize for supporting Trump when Trump says the thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want. They want you to, they essentially, what these people are looking for you to do is they're looking for you to say, I am sorry for Donald Trump saying that very offensive thing. I really apologize to you, and I am so sorry. And they're like, you better learn from this. Like, that's what they are trying to do. That's why I do the exact opposite. I go, yeah, I support everything he's doing. Yeah, let's go. Literally everything. Donald Trump has never made a mistake. He's never done anything wrong. He's never, ever been wrong about anything in his life. He is a perfect human being. And then they just start, they don't know what to do at that point. Because I'm basically giving them their own delusion. That's what they think of me. Might as well go ahead and give it to them, because I don't care what they actually think. It doesn't matter to me. What does matter to me is Harley Dave insulting me and says, of course you don't have, or you have Hassan muted because you don't want to learn anything. Wow, it's tough typing, Tard. Thank you, Harley. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, all these people need to stay in their lane. Misspelling is my thing. Hail iDots. Hail clowns. Happy Jessica. Boom. Thank you, John. Good to see you, brother. Gregory says, the gays get thrown off the building. I have that clip pulled up right here. Here we go.
Like, everyone else in the world was like, this is the greatest thing. And I think what you're doing is phenomenal. And I was shocked that so many activists like in America didn't like it. But meanwhile, they're like, oh, well, we support women. We want women to have all these rights. Meanwhile, you're liberating the women of Iran. And then they have an issue with it. I thought that was very confusing.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very confusing.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings.
Yeah.
That's a clip, man. We got to have that as a clip. We got to have that as a clip. One more time. It's just too good. It's just too good.
Confusing.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings.
Yeah.
Dart Schwartz Rising says, listening to Hassan is the leading cause of tardness. I did not know that, but I have learned that through you super chatting me and telling me, which I do believe this is 100% true. So thank you for that information. That's important information as well. Here we go.
They're stalling their surrender by waging economic terror on the Strait. And after Trump just hit Carg Island with a brushback pitch, America is surging additional assets into the region. The USS Tripoli is leaving port in Japan and making its way to the Middle East. This is the amphibious assault ships, basically like a light carrier capable of fitting up to 30 aircraft, a full squadron suited for swatting drones and attacking speedboats in the Strait, plus a Marine expeditionary units on board, 2,500 Marines, a ground combat unit, attack helicopters, F-35s, a logistics unit, a command team, which is a sign that the Strait, the coastline, and maybe Carg Island could see some more action soon. We already have the USS Gerald Ford and the USS George H.W. Bush in the region, plus anti-mine vessels. Some of the most advanced in the world are forward deployed. You're looking at the literal combat motherships. Things can detect a mine like a bloodhound. The Navy could also deploy sea drones that identify mines and blow them up at a distance. The Secretary of War said there's been no evidence that the Iranians have mined the Strait, but Central Command's ready.
The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. Now, there's a reason why we chose as one of our primary objectives destroy the Navy. We understood the ability to interdict shipping is something Iran has done for 40 years. It's key terrain. They've used it as leverage. The world is seeing what they'll do to fight back in that context. And so We've heard them talk about taking various measures, and we're planning for all of them.
CENTCOM wargamed the strait closure, which is why the generals are completely annihilating Iran's offensive power first before undertaking an anti-mine and tanker convoy operation.
And President Trump just dropped this video on True Social. I know he's probably played it already on here, but it's just important. President Trump drops badass footage of tonight's historic, overwhelming bombing campaign. Here we go, right here. It is directly from President Trump. And boom. Trump ain't messing around, dude. He's just not. Whether you like it or not, he's not messing around. He's destroying everything that from their military standpoint. And listen, there's a lot of stuff that's being thrown out there. I mean, I've seen so many people running with this narrative of this school that was bombed. And I don't know what the truth is. So again, this is like the first day of the attacks. There's a story that a all-girls school got a missile dropped on it, which this reportedly this again, an all-girls school in Iran. That's really I don't really understand that. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but whatever. That's the report. And so there was like 168 kids in this school. All right. So the reports were that it was the United States accidentally or mistakenly went after this school, which used to be a military facility. Okay. So I don't know what the answer is right now. We didn't know when it was originally reported, but the original reports were blaming it on the U.S. Now, apparently there's an investigation going on. President Trump was asked about it initially. He said it was Iran. Then you started to hear from other people, and it seemed that it wasn't very clear who was responsible for it. Then the New York Times came out with articles saying that it was the United States. And at that point in time, a lot of the left and a lot of the panicans started running with the narrative because that's all they need. They don't need anything to be confirmed. They just need the narrative so they can run with it. Now, the reason that I think that this story is so terrible for many reasons, obviously it's terrible that any of these children were caught up in this. Regardless as to who's responsible, it's terrible. Second, what you have to understand is, and this is part of being on the internet, what you have to understand is that the people that are obsessed with this story don't actually care about these kids, all right? Because they're only worried about, can I build an anti-Trump, anti-military, anti-US military narrative around it? That is what the people that are obsessed about it, that's all they care about. Because if in fact there was a story out there about Iran doing this, none of them will be talking about it. They're only talking about it because they want to use it to go after Trump. They're not really worried about all of these girls being killed. And that's the sad reality of the situation. Look, if the U.S. is responsible, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows except for, the investigation that they're going to carry out. If in fact it turns out that the U.S. is responsible, we should own it and admit the mistake after the war or the military operation or whatever you want to call it is over. But until then, it's being pushed by people that have no interest in the dead children that are involved. So, really, there's no way to know any of this, but people are running with it like they have all the answers. And that's just ridiculous.
We've done this before. When the Iranians tried closing the strait during the tanker wars in the 80s, in the battle against the Iraqis, it's like football. You got to block first, open the hole, then run through it.
Let's see. We do know Congress was briefed by the Pentagon. Do you do any research or just meme all day? Because this is a serious topic, I'm just going to do this.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Hopefully that answered your question. I wanted to be very clear about it. Just wanted to be very clear.
If the military can execute, we'll win the Battle of Hormuz. The air campaign has to come before maritime operations. And Trump says the escorts will be happening very soon. And we might be getting backup. The Italians and the French are already in negotiations with the mullahs to back off the strait. And the British Navy might provide ships for the tanker escorts. The president watching closely the price of oil. Today it closed around $100 a barrel. But preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is more of a priority than oil prices, he says. That's his justification and why he calls the operation a little excursion.
What's your message to voters who may be concerned about the potential for rising gas prices?
Well, I think your gas prices, as soon as that's over, are going to come tumbling down along with everything else. I think it's going to be, you're going to see a very big decrease in the price of gasoline, gas, anything having to do with energy.
If and hopefully when the operation is successful, oil could fall back down into the 50s. That's where Trump had it in January. The cost of living's always been a concern for the commander-in-chief, and he seems confident in the mission.
I think I have tremendous support on this. This is something that's been incredible. I have the best poll numbers I've ever had now.
Yeah.
And it's not because of this. I think we've just, the economy is great. It's a little bit of we take a little winding road for a little while, but we have to wipe out the evil. It's an evil curse. They're evil people. And hey, we wiped out their Navy. We wiped out their Air Force. We wiped out everything there is to wipe out.
So there you have it. That's the latest. And we'll see how this all plays out. But ultimately, there's a lot of people that are emotionally broken and emotionally weak, and they are lashing out. They're not lashing out because they care. They're lashing out because they need some type of void in their life to be filled. And the only way they know to do that is to cry on social media for other people to apologize to them for their feelings. That's going on right now. That's going on all over the fucking place. And you have to understand that. And that's why when you are approached by people that are very emotionally weak, the only thing you can do is double down. The only thing you can do is just laugh. That's it. That's the only thing you can do because nothing else will work. Be the person that they think you are. Just go ahead. Just, you're like, yeah, I am the exact person you think I am. And there's nothing I can say to change your mind. So just believe every single terrible thing. I don't care. That's how I handle it anyway. Tommy says, in 2 weeks, I'm shipping out to the Middle East in U.S. Merchant Marine. I regularly sail through the Strait of Hormuz, ports of Bahrain, is it Salalah? Dubai, all have been bombed. Keep in mind, American civilian sailors in harm's way. I am 100% and 100% sympathetic, and that's my main concern is the safety of not only our citizens but also our soldiers, because it's awful, man. And that's the number one thing. I think JD Vance put out a tweet earlier because we need to honor the fallen for sure. Here it is right here. Please join me in praying for the 6 service members who lost their lives in a plane crash over the skies in Iraq. I heard some people talking about this earlier today. I don't remember who it was or what show I was watching. Can't remember. Somebody was saying something about I don't believe that this is what it is. I believe we're losing a lot more United States soldiers than blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't really know what to do with that when I hear people talking like that. I really don't. It's people don't want to believe anything that doesn't line up with the idea that they've created in their own head. Apparently, I'm not sure. But yeah, so JD Vance posted this, and I'm glad that he did, because obviously our servicemen and women are the most important thing, along with any civilians who are in the area. We don't want to see any of them die. We don't want to see any loss of life. And that's the worst part of this whole entire situation right now. I would hope and pray that these soldiers, that their families are going to be taken care of by the military, by the government. That's the only thing you can hope for. And we don't have a great track record of that, sadly, in a lot of cases. So hopefully with President Trump, hopefully that's going to be different. That's what I'm hoping for. But rest in peace to all of those brave souls. Kate says, not sure which tax to apply this to. Clown tax or the Blue Texan is a retard tax. I think it applies, either way. Jeeping Baylor says, saw your clip on Alex Jones drunk. I thought it was going to be an exaggeration. Holy shit. He was drunker than Kamala on a bad day. Your reaction to it losing your shit made my day. I'm glad you guys liked that over on D-Day Cobra 2. It was very, very, very funny for sure. Trump is your president for 20. Says, Jeremy is the grift king. Here is my humble grift tax, sir. Anyone who doesn't send Jeremy money is gay. Hey, I like that. That's a good theory. I like that. I like your thinking right there. That's good. Thank you so much. Let's see. Ehab says, if this goes more than 3 months and there's not a government that can sustain or defend itself, I think this will be a loss and will end with more terror groups and bigger Middle East problems. I mean, yes, I don't disagree with you. And as I've said many times, I'm personally not a fan of, just on the surface, I'm just not a fan of us being involved in this conflict. But, I'm going to trust that President Trump has a plan. And I can kind of see what his plan is when you bring Venezuela into it, when you bring Cuba into it. You have the Irans. Like, I kind of see where he's going with this. This is a very slippery slope for him. Okay. This is a very slippery slope. And that is what, being in leadership is all about, is taking risks. And hoping that it pays off, or at least, making a educated decision on if it's going to pay off. And Trump believes it's going to pay off. Trump believes he's going to reposition all of this to benefit not only the United States, but the world. That's what his goal is. And either you trust him or you don't, but I do. Delirious Washington says, I'm trying to find out how to give you money, grifter. Well, this is a pretty good job. I mean, you sent a 10 right here. You sent a 2 right there. So we're off to a pretty good start. I mean, if you want to give more, you can, but you're not required. However, some people may say you are, but I'm not saying that. I would never say that. I would never say anything remotely close, but I do appreciate the super chat. Gregory with 5 to get the memberships. Thank you. Jeremy trying to move the goalpost for Trump. What goalpost is that? What goalpost? Gold standard. Please tell me. What goalpost am I moving? I'm waiting. Gold standard. Come on. We don't have all day. All right. I ain't got all day. You've never super chat me, so I'm not going to waste too much time waiting on your answer. Hurry the fuck up. We are waiting. Come on, buddy. Hurry up. What goalpost am I moving? Wait, what? What? Are you are you nervous because I called you out? Are you nervous because I called you out? I don't know what this means. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right. You clearly have performance issues. All right. Probably not the first time you've heard that. Okay. Talked all that shit. And then all of a sudden, I see you and call you out, and suddenly you can't even type properly. Damn. Thought we were going to have a good back and forth. I was going to be able to answer, so I can give some more context. And yet here we are where nothing happened. But John freaking Murdoch did send a 20 and says, not that I need it to prove it, but here is my yes, I'm straight tax. Thank you, John. That's very much appreciated. As much as you super chat me, John, I appreciate that you clarified that you are straight. I was wondering, like, John sends a lot of money. Okay. John sends a lot of money. Is he? And you clarified. So we're good now. We're good. You like how I'm insulting John, one of my biggest supporters? What the hell's wrong with me? Harley Dave says, Jeremy trying to move the goalpost for Trump. That's right. Damn right. Hang on. I saw our boy, our TDS boy in the chat. Where did it go? Damn it. Ghost was in the chat crying again, saying, all I know how to do is meme. And my response is, when you say all I know how to do is meme, I just want to be clear that you are 100% correct. Pretty good response, if I do say so myself. Dark Source Rises says, I need to prove let's see. I don't need to prove I'm straight to anyone, but just in case. I respect it. You're taking a chance and you're just like, I just need to make sure we get it out there, make it very clear. I do understand that one. That's a good one right there. John says that, yeah, the chat has mentioned that I'm a Jeremy simp, which I am, but still straight. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. See there, John freaking Murdoch, very comfortable in his own skin. You see that? That's good stuff. Okay, next up on tonight's agenda, I don't know how much of this I want to watch, but Tucker Carlson was on with Piers Morgan, and I guess the whole intent was to upset Ben Shapiro because Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly are fighting, and Ben Shapiro then got mad at Piers Morgan, and then Tucker Carlson got pulled into it, and it's just embarrassing, to say the least. But Piers Morgan responded to Ben Shapiro on Twitter and essentially posted him and Little Ben, and it was a meme. Always respect the memes. And Piers said, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to have one of Ben Shapiro's favorite people on, and that would be Tucker Carlson. So I want to get to the part where the Tucker Carlson section, the Ben Shapiro Tucker Carlson section comes up, which is right here, it looks like. Okay, hang on, let's see. So let me back it up. That's what I want to hear about. I want to hear about the flame war between these two, if it's going to play. And of course, it's not going to play.
It's law right now, as every bit the threat. Crimes, they've abetted bias crimes. They are currently abetting bias crimes. The ADL and every single one of these groups has an absolute moral obligation to treat anti-white hate, which is the only kind encoded in U.S. law right now, as every bit the threat of anti-Semitic hate. How are they different? They're not. And no one will say that until someone does say that. You will not reunite this country. And if this continues, the country will fracture.
As we're talking, with glorious coincidence, Ben Shapiro has been releasing various clips on his social media platforms. One of them goes after me and Megyn Kelly. Me because he blew his gasket about Dave Smith appearing on my show, launched into my show, said it was just Jerry Springer. As I like Jerry Springer, I knew him very well. I worked with him on America's Got Talent. He's actually a very smart guy. Used to be a news anchor, mayor of Cincinnati. Really interesting guy, much smarter than Ben Shapiro.
It is really interesting right now, the dynamic, because here's what I believe right now, okay? I believe that Ben Shapiro's relevance is lower than I can remember in the last 10 years. I don't know if that's a fair assessment from what everybody else thinks, but I think Ben Shapiro's relevance is lower than it's been since 2016, maybe even prior to that, because Ben blew up with all of these debates on college campuses and roasting people, roasting these college kids, but he has been in decline, I believe, since 2020. All right. So I'm not saying Ben Shapiro is irrelevant. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that this is the most irrelevant he has been in a decade plus. He just isn't the same. He doesn't have the same draw that he used to have, all of that. Okay. Now, with Megyn Kelly and Tucker, I mean, these are two people that they were definitely against Trump early on, and then they shifted. I'm not against giving people a pass when they, acknowledge their mistakes or whatever, okay? And Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson both kind of moved away from that anti-Trump stuff and supported him completely and totally. But now we're starting to see them creep back into that mentality of that. Piers Morgan, I believe Piers is a complete, he just wants to fuck with people. I don't even know where Piers stands on Trump, because Piers, obviously, he was on The Celebrity Apprentice. He's been friends with Trump for a long time, but he's also been highly critical of Trump in multiple angles over the years, to where I truly don't know where Piers stands on Trump at all. I really don't. But I think that we have four massive egos of people that are all from the mainstream that cannot get out of their own way right now.
So I took that as a compliment, but and I responded. He didn't like the response. He's come back. He's called me Jerry Springer again. He's called me a click whore. He says I'm a pussy bitch, and he goes on and on and on. I don't actually want to play the clip about me because he's trying to basically suggest that if you platform anybody that he hasn't approved as a person that can speak about Israel, in other words, someone who's a propagandist for Israel, who will not criticize Israel, then you yourself are promoting anti-Semitism. Therefore, you're an anti-Semite. Therefore, you're basically borderline Nazi. But I do want to play what he said about you, because he's been...
Jeremy, honest question. Do we not like Tucker Carlson or Megyn Kelly anymore? No, I like both of them still. I don't hate either one of them. I find both of them to be interesting to listen to. I still like both of them more than Ben Shapiro. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I really don't. I like Tucker and Megyn Kelly more than Ben Shapiro. However, I don't really care about any of them. I really don't care about any of them, but I will take, I'll take almost anybody over Ben Shapiro. Almost.
Railing the same stuff against you, which I don't think anyone who has watched this interview so far will have concluded, oh yeah, Tucker sounds like a raging anti-Semite. He sounds like a Nazi. You couldn't sound less like either of those things, and yet he's just posted this. Let's take a look.
I started originally criticizing Tucker Carlson for his economic programs back in 2018. And then in the more modern post-Fox iteration of Tucker, I started criticizing Tucker over his going to Russia to sniff the bread and kiss Vladimir Putin's ass. My generalized critique of Tucker in the last few months has been, one, he hosted and glossed a Nazi, Nick Fuentes, which doesn't have to do with Israel. It has to do with glazing a Nazi, Nick Fuentes.
Donuts in the chat.
And then I did a speech at Heritage in which I went through the fact that Tucker Carlson is in no way, shape, or form a traditional conservative. That he's a conspiratorial near anarchist at this point, seeking to tear down the fundamental ideas and institutions of the United States. Go watch the Heritage speech. I believe Israel is mentioned once in a 35-minute speech that is all about Tucker's general view of the world and how it does not represent traditional conservatism in any way. I think that Tucker Carlson has fostered anti-Semitism by having on some of the worst anti-Semites in America over and over and over, and then essentially laundering their views.
So it's the same attack line, essentially, about the anti-Semitism, which is if you or I or Megyn Kelly, whoever it may be, dares to platform anybody who is critical of Israel, let's be clear. I mean, in my case, I've always made it crystal clear, as you have in this interview, I have absolutely no problem with Israel, the state of Israel, with Israelis, with Jewish people, many Jewish friends. It's nothing to do with that. I reserve the right as a...
What's interesting is that Piers is starting to learn what, and again, not a fan of Nick Fuentes, but when Piers had Fuentes on, he started to basically ask loaded questions of Fuentes. And so Fuentes would just sarcastically respond with everything that Piers was accusing him of by saying, sure, yeah, I love that guy. No, I have no problem with that. This is the same thing that's happening to you now, Piers. And do you see how annoying it is? Do you see how aggravating it is to be constantly bombarded with this nonsense? This is where we are. Identity politics is all over the place.
Journalist to criticize any government, and I particularly reserve the right to criticize the Israeli government, given what it's been doing in the last few years, as any decent journalist should, not least because in Gaza, for example, the Israeli government continues to ban international journalists from operating there or even going on into Gaza to verify what they've been up to. That alone should be a warning sign to everybody that the Israeli government has probably been doing things in Gaza. It doesn't want people to...
Avengers Prime says, as much as I like Ben, he's not entirely wrong there. Tucker isn't a conservative. He's a libertarian. I don't really disagree with that point, what you're saying there. It's more so like, I'm just looking at the entire picture here, that Ben Shapiro, he's blatantly turned on Trump after we were supposed to forgive him for that. You know, like, so he called Trump a misogynist and a racist and a sexist back in 2015, 2016. He was a never Trumper. And my belief is like, if you make a mistake, you should go out of your way to put the same energy into making up for the mistake as you did for the action of the mistake. So Ben Shapiro went out of his way to call Trump and label Trump all of these ists and isms prior to 2016. He was on the never Trump bandwagon. So he went out of his way to let everyone know, I hate Donald Trump and I will never support Donald Trump, yada, yada, yada. Fair. Okay, whatever. That was how you felt. Well, once you realized you were wrong, you should put the same exact energy into your pro-Trump cheerleading as you did your anti-Trump cheerleading. He didn't do that. He reluctantly supported Trump because he had no choice. Let's be clear. He didn't support Trump because he supports Trump. He supported Trump because he wasn't going to support Hillary Clinton. That's why he supported Trump. But again, then we go back to the 2024 campaign where Donald Trump had everything against him. And Ben Shapiro decided, I'm going to stab this guy in the back again, and I'm going to support DeSantis. I can't forgive that, man. I just can't forgive it when you actively campaign against Trump after you've already shown that you regretted it back in 2016. The moment you could do it again, you did it again. It makes me just not trust anything Ben Shapiro ever says.
to know. So, but I took the same view. You know, I oppose the Iraq War. We've talked about this before, but I led the media campaign in the UK against the Iraq War, even though my own brother ended up fighting in it. But I opposed it, and I think was vindicated by what happened afterwards, sadly. But I opposed it and took on Tony Blair, who was the then British Prime Minister, even though my newspaper was the Labour sympathetic newspaper, the Daily Mirror, to the Labour government. But I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do. It didn't mean that I hated British people or my country.
Again, Piers, these are the same loaded questions you ask people on your show. It's crazy. It's crazy that you don't you ask the same loaded questions to people all the time, even though people have been on record clarifying whatever they've said 100 times. You accuse them of the same shit.
Country. In fact, quite the opposite. It meant that I wanted to help the British people and help my country from stumbling into a disaster. And I sense from you that your position about Iran is not driven by a hatred of Jews or Israelis or Israel. It is driven by a sense that you feel this is bad for America and Americans, and probably bad for Israelis and Jewish people as well.
Identity politics is a cancer, okay? It just is, okay? Dan Campbell for 20 says, this is to clarify to Eric in the chat that I'm not gay, but I see his point. Thanks for popping my super chat cherry. Oops, I did it again. IDF theme song. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You guys are hilarious, man. Delirious Washington for 20 says, Jeremy, you spurt loads of facts all over these faces of people. Well, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for that. Go. Jeremy, what percentage of your super chats come from people who donate after a troll like me says something stupid? I'm going to be honest. I am very surprised that you are not a hater, because you have been shitting on me for a long time. So I am actually surprised that you are not actually a hater. You have been dedicated. I respect the fact that you have been dedicated to this shit. I respect it. You're not like one of the top haters that I thought, but you definitely were you were up there. So the fact that you aren't a hater, that you've just been trolling this whole time, massive amount of respect. I kind of wish you wouldn't. Yeah, illusion ruined. I kind of wish you would not have broken the illusion. This is kind of like when I found out that, wrestling wasn't real. I just kind of stood out into the ocean and just stared for hours. I'm like, what is life? You mean to tell me the mega powers didn't explode? You mean to tell me Hulk Hogan and Macho Man weren't really fighting? You mean to tell me the Ultimate Warrior is not from parts unknown? Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me the Undertaker isn't dead? Are you kidding me right now? But thank you, Gold Standard. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I care about the United States. Again, I was born here. My family's been here hundreds of years. I care about it. I don't expect I'll be able to save it, but I want to do whatever I can to make it better and to avoid obvious disasters like this one. I don't want to attack Ben Shapiro, other than to say, that guy went to Harvard.
Bro, the meme we watched of Tucker earlier. I don't want to attack Ben Shapiro. And then he attacks him. This is classic Tucker Carlson. I don't want to attack Ben Shapiro. And then he attacks him. Dude, Tucker's about as phony as they come to. Holy shit.
Disasters like this one. I don't want to attack Ben Shapiro, other than to say, that guy went to Harvard, and so did Bill Ackman. At some point, you need to reassess. No, I'm serious, though. These are two of the most famous, richest people in our world. They both went to Harvard. I know them both. Not geniuses, not even close to geniuses. And so, our system itself is not producing wise people or even very knowledgeable people. Ben Shapiro had no idea there was a strait at the end of the Persian Gulf and why it was important. you need a system that produces superior people. The British Empire did a pretty good job of this. The United States before the Second World War did a pretty good job of this. We need to reassess our system. That's the first thing I would say. Second, you're right. This is absurd. I think I've actually even argued with you about Israel. I was taking a tougher position than you. You've been a defender of Israel.
Yeah.
That's why this is so crazy. He wants to talk about this in order to get, this is projection. You're all about clicks. No, actually, Ben Shapiro is all about the money and about the clicks. But here's the part that I think that we should be concerned about. It is now a crime in a lot of the West to criticize Israel. People were arrested yesterday in Australia for criticizing Israel outside, publicly, not attacking Jews.
God, man. I really want to know, okay? I want to know from my chat. There's 3,000 people here, okay? Who's more annoying? The pro-Israel side or the anti-Israel side? Okay? Because I am very fascinated by this. Pro-Israel or anti-Israel side, who's more annoying? Because I find them to be incredibly, like, they're both so annoying. Hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Is that even how the fuck do you spell Israel? The fact that I don't know how to spell Israel tells you, all right, I did spell it correctly. Okay. All right. Who's more annoying? Who is more annoying? There we go. Pro-Israel or anti-Israel? Go. Okay. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. Oh, anti-Israel crowd winning. I mean, you already know where I stand on this. So, no Mossad month this month. Let's see how this one ends. We're gonna let this one go. Okay, probably equal. What's both on there for? What do you mean? Who is more annoying? Okay, let's continue on. You guys can continue to fight it out in the chat.
Not attacking physically anybody, saying I'm against the state of Israel. They're arrested for it. They're in jail tonight. That's also true in the UK, as you know. It's true in Canada. It's true throughout Europe. And Ben Shapiro and people in the administration would like to make that the law here. This is the last holdout of free speech on planet Earth, the United States. It's encoded in our Constitution. Also, I would say in the American DNA. We have a right to say whatever we believe is true, period. And that very much includes criticism of a foreign country. You'll never hear me saying from the river to the sea, because I'm not exactly sure what that means. However, if I want...
It is really hard to listen to Tucker without thinking about the comedian that, makes fun of him, because he is like, that guy has Tucker down to a T. It is crazy. I cannot even listening to him. I can't even stop thinking about that dude.
Want to say from the river to the sea, I certainly will. And I'll do that until I die, because that's my birthright. That's a right given to me by God, not the US government. And Ben Shapiro and a lot of these people are saying it out loud. We need to penalize anti-Semites with the law. What does that even mean? You can never, in the United States, prosecute or even persecute someone for his beliefs. For your beliefs, you have the right of conscience in this country. The UK used to have it. Australia used to have it. New Zealand used to have it. Now they're going to jail for saying things that Ben Shapiro doesn't like. So dude, we should be wary.
Just the line where he says, I don't even know what that means. Like, look at this right here, okay? Because he just said it. He goes, I don't even know what that means. All right, here we go. If it'll play. Why won't it play?
Shalom.
Hi.
Okay, you pack your own bags or somebody pack for you?
I don't even know what that means, actually. I mean, I packed some things. I certainly packed a lot of things, like a lot. And I probably overpacked. I always tend to overpack. I bring everything. And I'm sure other people pack for me too. So
well, we have to ask to make sure, no one put a weapon or something you don't know.
Well, I'm proud of owning guns. I own lots of guns. I'm not going to apologize for that, like at all. I own guns.
You have one here?
And so I'm not going to apologize for that.
Okay, but did you pack it?
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist and a commentator. I talk to people. I have conversations with people.
Journalist. Okay. Do you ever lie?
Oh, all the time. I lie every day.
I
lie every day. And I'll continue to do it. I'm sure I'll continue to do that. And I hate it. I hate that I do that, but I'm certain that I do it.
You're lying right now about your intentions?
Oh yeah. And I'm very honest about that. I'm very honest about that.
You're honest that you're lying. Okay. You with him?
I'm honest about lying. This is so on point, dude. This man right here has ruined Tucker Carlson for me. I did not, none of this was on my radar. Like, I never saw how bad Tucker was until this guy. This guy has completely ruined Tucker for me.
A major network?
No, we're independent.
Okay. And who is funding you?
I'd rather not say. It's none of your business. It's none of your business at all.
It's a secret?
Actually, I don't have to disclose that.
Okay. You traveled to the Middle East at all in the last 6 months?
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Where you go?
Well,
which places you travel?
Well,
and why do you go there? No, let's go.
I went to places. They were nice. I wanted to talk to people and see people and have conversations with people.
Okay. Any of the people you talk to have any connections to radical terrorist organizations?
I mean,
really?
I mean, last I checked, they were all political organizations.
They're what?
Any of those regimes were political organizations. Last I checked.
Okay. This funny to you? Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish. I certainly, there's nothing wrong with being Jewish. Some of my favorite people are Jewish, like really, like some of my very absolutely favorite people are Jewish. Some of my least favorite people are Christian Zionists. I hate them. I'm appalled by them, actually, like really appalled. But I'm not going to apologize for who I am. I'm a white person. I'm a Christian. I'm a man. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Period.
Okay. Couple more questions. Where are you from?
Oh, I came from Maine.
What is Maine?
Yeah, I live across from my parents' graves.
Wow. Okay, from Maine, what's the population?
Oh, I see what you did.
Why not?
And so
what brings you to Israel?
Well, I'm here to interview Ambassador Mike Huckabee.
You know Ambassador Mike Huckabee?
Very well, actually. I know him a lot.
From where you know him?
And I also have no idea who he is, like at all. Like I barely even know who that is. I don't even know who he is.
Ma?
And so I'm here to interview him.
So wait, you do know him or you don't know him? אני לא מבין. Okay, anyone give you a gift or something to take to Israel with you?
I mean, I got a house from Qatar.
Why you get that?
They're an ally. Last I checked, they're an ally. They're like one of our closest allies, actually.
Okay, we're gonna need your passport, please.
Why do you need to see my passport? Is it because I'm a Christian?
What you saying?
Did you just spit at me?
Ma?
Did you just spit at me?
We need your passport.
Oh.
Your passport, please.
Well, I'm certainly not going to give you my passport. I would never do that, like at all.
This is standard.
Hey,
I'll take you to a supervisor.
No. They're detaining me.
We
Stop.
just need a passport.
Get off me. This is just like the demon.
Ma?
This is just like the demon.
Hey, why? איזה משוגע.
I can't listen to Tucker seriously anymore. That man has ruined it.
All preparatory to legislative and regulatory changes that will ban free speech in the United States. They're saying it out loud. That's happening.
I also think that the really insidious part of it, and there were many insidious parts of it, one is to silence people and to threaten them and to get them cancelled and so on, which is very hypocritical coming from someone like Ben Shapiro, who pretends to be the great king of free speech. But also, yeah, exactly. But I ended my own monologue response to him by saying those exact words, which probably triggered his little pussy bitch outburst today, as he's called me. But I think the other thing that I find insidious, Tucker, is that there are genuine anti-Semitic people. There are people that hate Jews because they're Jewish. There are people that wish harm to Jews. There are people who still have Nazi sympathies, who think the Holocaust was a good thing. These people exist. And if you start branding everybody that's critical of this current very hardline Israeli government, with people like Smodrich and Ben-Gvir, who have extremely hardline views, if you criticize a government and you get branded anti-Semitic for criticizing the government for policies that many people think are wrong.
Again, if this is so terrible to label people this, why does Piers label people this? Because he's done it multiple times. So if it's so terrible to label people this, why do you throw that around so easily when you want to label people that? It's laughable. Like, I'm so sick of identity politics, no matter who it comes from. I'm so sick of it. And identity politics is a cancer, no matter what, no matter where it comes from, no matter what the narrative is around it, it's a cancer. And for Piers to get up on and pretend that he's offended over something Nick fucking Fuentes says or Andrew Tate or whoever he brings on, like, you're not really offended. Nobody's really offended over words, okay? Threats, yes. Words, no. Nobody's really offended over name calling. They're just not. Now, there might be circumstances where name calling isn't beneficial. Say, I don't know, maybe you're marketing a fucking movie. You probably shouldn't call the audience racist and sexist, and you probably shouldn't put, messaging within the movie. But if we're just talking about isolation of somebody just calling people names, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Words are irrelevant. Who cares what somebody says? Who cares what somebody's opinion is? Who gives a shit? I don't. Do you? Does anybody really care? I only care when we can't equally share our opinions out in the world. That's what I get upset about. I don't care that somebody says, I don't care if some, Black Lives Matter loser says something bad about white people in isolation. I don't care. Say whatever you fuck you want. But the fact is if I can't say the same exact thing back to you without being penalized or losing something like revenue or my job or a sponsor, then that's a fucking problem. If we could all say whatever the fuck we wanted, then I don't have a problem with anybody saying whatever they want. I don't care. I only care when certain people can say things and other people can't say things.
Then what you're doing, you're allowing the genuine anti-Semites, the genuine Nazi sympathizers
Here we go.
to just ride under the radar. Because, if you go on social media now, everyone's an anti-Semite, according to Ben Shapiro and these guys. Once everyone becomes something, even though the vast majority are not that thing, then the ones who really are that thing get to operate much more freely.
Dude,
I think.
Am I taking crazy pills right now? Hang on just a minute. Something just popped up. Hang on. I got to find this. If I'm not mistaken, okay? This is a long time ago. But it was a PewDiePie video that he was reacting to. And it was a respect women video or something like that. Yeah, here it is. This is it, okay? And I believe Piers Morgan. Yes, I fucking remember this shit. Okay. So I remember this because Piers Morgan was in this video right here, okay? And this guy was on there and they were labeling him sexist. And Piers Morgan was completely like pretending to be offended and all of this shit in this video. All right. Let's back up. Hang on. Let's see. This guy, you couldn't understand anything this guy was saying.
Yanis Corvin-Mick joins us now.
Yanis Corvin-Mick. Look at this man. He might look cute. He might look a little chipper. He might look like your uncle. But this man, no, his opinions. His opinions.
Now live from Warsaw in Poland.
Morning.
Welcome to you, sir. Can you explain to people in Britain, please, why you believe women should be paid less than men because they're weaker, smaller, and less intelligent?
What?
I am sorry, you are lying. I never said that the women should earn less.
I love his accent so much. It's goddamn beautiful. It makes this whole thing 10 times better.
I only said that because they are shorter, they are weaker, they are less intelligent, they are less aggressive, and so on, they earn less. By the way, shorter men earn less than the tall men. The blonde earn more than the brunette.
So essentially, this guy is saying that women earn less because they can't do the job to the same ability. He's not saying women should earn less. He's saying it's the reality of why they are, and he's right. But this entire video, Piers is pretending to be offended because of my lady. Like, I remember this video.
differences, and the differences should not be equalized. That's all.
Can you,
And
sorry, can I
what
just interrupt? Can you give me an example? Sorry,
the women
sir.
are not shorter than men?
Are you saying women are not shorter than men? What a crazy world we live in. Yakshimaj, my wife.
Okay, can you just give me an example of where a short man earns less than a tall man?
Well, I'm not defending this unrespecting women man, but there was some studies on it. I don't know if New York Times is a good source, but they did show that short men make less than tall men. And it also showed, I think it also showed that bald men.
By the way, I pride myself on being a very, very good sarcastic asshole. PewDiePie's sarcasm, so much better than mine. Pew's sarcasm is next level.
Made less money than people with hair. But I'm not defending this man. Okay? I'm merely giving some context.
Also, it is checked, it is proved, and women earn less because they are, and so on and so on.
And do you believe?
I
didn't
say that they should earn.
Okay.
I am a free marketer.
Let me ask you though. Do you personally?
I am a free marketer.
Let me ask you.
And everybody earns.
Okay, let me ask you. Do you personally believe that women are less?
What is that face he's doing? He looks so disgusted.
Okay, let me ask you.
Look at him now.
Do you personally believe that women are?
What is that?
Do you understand that when you say that, you're basically telling them? Well, let me finish. Let me finish. Do you understand that when you say that on International Women's Day, what you're really doing is showing the world that you are just a horrendous sexist pig?
Oh! Damn, that's right, Piers. Get that disrespecting women, man. Make me angry.
Excuse me, why you are not interested that the women are shorter or weaker than men? And so, of course they are less intelligent. There's several points on IQ scale.
Women, of course they are less intelligent. Disgusting. How could you say such a disgusting spirit?
No doubt on that, but please don't mix up things.
Okay. But if women, okay, but let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Wiser.
Yeah, if women are less intelligent, let me finish.
Please,
Shush. When you say women are less,
please don't. At least he's saying please. Pierce is just like shush. I have to speak. You are disrespecting women. God bless you, Pierce. Be quiet! You are disrespecting women, and I need you to be quiet.
Intelligent than men.
I'm sorry, I was talking.
How can you say that women are less intelligent than men when you yourself sound so unbelievably stupid?
Oh! Get him, Pierce. You are so dumb. Oh, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again.
I haven't understood you.
Because you're too stupid.
Oh! Double critical damage.
How can you say that women are less intelligent than men when you are saying such incredibly stupid things?
Men. Why?
Yeah, how can you say that when you yourself say such stupid things?
First of all, I haven't heard you.
I love how he talks. It's so beautiful. It really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? First of all,
I haven't heard you. It is you are saying it's stupid. It is scientifically proved, and you say that what is scientists determined, you say it is stupid thing. Now, well, it only shows that you are idiot.
Boom! Strike back.
Don't believe in science.
Boom!
That's all. And please, don't mix up. Don't mix things up. Women are less intelligent than men. But
I like this little text that shows up here. Says women should be paid less than men.
Sorry, you are lying. I never said that the women should earn less.
No, that's it doesn't matter what he says. That's the fact there.
Yeah, so this whole thing is built off of something that this man has not said. That's the key right here. This man has not said what they are claiming that he said. He's essentially just stating a fact that they do not want to admit, that there is a reason why women earn less. It has nothing to do with him believing that they do. He's simply saying this is why And this is the context to it. That's it.
Would you like to speak to this gentleman who thinks that women are basically less intelligent?
You see what Piers is doing here? He's giving the women a platform.
Here's the
to
my
speak.
lady.
He's not just
right here. Dudes does it.
taking every word for himself. He realizes, my lady, would you like to open your mouth and have opinion as well? Because you can, because I respect you as a woman. My name is Piers Morgan.
I feel like I've kind of been rendered speechless
sorry, the lady is
by
allowed
what
to
I'm
speak. If that's
hearing.
all right with you. We have,
Do you know
we
what?
have quite a short lady who I think might take exception to almost everything you've just.
He said short lady. Piers said short lady. Holy shit. He's having to interrupt a man to give a woman an opportunity to talk, all while saying women are equal to men. This is fucking amazing.
I've just been rendered
Sorry, the lady is
speechless by
about to
what I'm
speak. If that's all right with you. We have,
Do you know
we
what?
have
I
quite
can-
a short lady who I think might take exception to almost everything you've just said. So,
Well,
Susanna.
I find it absolutely fascinating. Can I just establish your credentials? You're a member of the European Parliament.
What?
That's right.
Hell yeah. I mean, no.
And what I don't understand, while I would agree that in cases that women are physically weaker than men, I don't understand how you can possibly justify a pay gap on the fact that women are shorter than men. Because whatever your argument, that is just complete rubbish.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Right. There we go.
Got him. That's my man, Piers. How tall are you?
5'4".
Point proven. Got him. Can't argue with statistics when you got one example.
Quite rubbish. I'm sorry. You still believe in stereotypes. We are now living
We
in
believe in
20th
stereotypes. Is that a
century.
joke?
You forget the 20th
My
century
God, man,
stereotype.
you've got some front. We are the ones
20th
talking in
century
stereotypes.
What is happening? I have no idea, but it's extremely entertaining.
I think your special brand of celebration of women is struggling a bit, given your extraordinary private life.
Oh,
where
shit.
8 children by 4 different women.
Oh, shit. Piers did some digging on this.
Bro, Piers is so out of pocket, dude. So, and it's all for the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I'm listening to Piers talk about virtue signaling and everybody's racist, everybody's sexist. Piers was part of this whole world of labeling people this shit. This is the world he was part of.
8 children by 4 different women.
Oh, shit. Piers did some digging on this man. Apparently, he has 8 children with 4 different women.
Obviously, I'm the stupid one here. So let me
stop.
No, you stop. You stop talking because obviously I'm being very.
Please stop.
Let me
stop.
Oh man, I love this so much.
Stupidity, I don't know if you're aware of this because you're an incredibly stupid man, is linked to intelligence. Do you see it? Do you see how it works?
Is math related to science?
It's one of the most interesting interviews I think I've ever witnessed, actually. And I do feel like I sat on the sidelines while 2 men...
Because you're a woman. They sit on the sideline. I mean, no! You think it's over? Oh, it's merely just begun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go on.
But please, let me say something.
He's got more to say.
I never said that women should earn less. I am only explaining to this idiot feminist because they say, oh, women are earning less. Why? So I'm explaining why.
Right.
If you are,
we
if you are weaker,
do you have a final? Do you have a?
See, they're not listening to a fucking word he's saying. They're not listening. He's simply saying, I never said they should. I'm simply explaining why they do. And they don't care. They don't care.
Why?
Right.
If you are,
we
if you are weaker,
do you have a final?
You
do you have
must
a?
earn less. Not.
Do you?
Not,
I think we've got the point. We've got the point.
Excuse me. A shorter man.
You're right.
A shorter man.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
In English I don't know, but 1 meter 89.
That sounded like English to me.
Right. About 6 foot. Okay. It's quite extraordinary to have a guy
1
that
meter
tall who's so
89 centimeters.
unbelievably dim. Do you have a final message for the women of the world on International Women's Day, that you can talk to them directly. What would you like to say?
My name is Jeff. Now, the first time I watched this, my initial reaction was, holy shit, this guy is insane. What the fuck is he saying? How can he say these things? He is definitely sexist. But second time I watched it, interpreting all his stumbling and mumbling, I understand what he's trying to say. He, like he said many times, he's not saying women should earn less. He's saying they are because of these reasons. And like I said, I don't know if there's a statistic that show that women in general are less intelligent than men. And if there is, I would say, what's the fucking point? I feel like I'm sort of in another corner in this discussion. He's basically saying there is a gender gap because these reasons. Piers Morgan is saying there is a gender gap and you're disgusting. I'm saying there is no gender gap. It's been debunked several times. Now, I'm probably not the right person to talk about this, but the gender gap is something that a lot of people, you probably heard about.
So the thing that was cool about this is, I mean, this video got 10 million views, okay? Now, that guy that was on the interview with Piers Morgan, like, they basically labeled him a sexist. This is whatever it was, years ago. That guy on a major news show in that area was labeled a sexist for something he did not fucking say. And thank goodness for PewDiePie covering this and getting the word out there to give the proper clarification for the people that heard the framing of that. But the reality of it is if the host of that show, Piers Morgan and that other woman, would have sat there and just listened to the words out of the man's mouth, instead, they were more focused on, oh my God, we have to be offended for women. We have to fight for women. Again, if women are so brave and so stunning and they don't need no man, why do you have to be offended on their behalf and fight for them? Why is that? The mentality that those hosts showed right there proves the entire point behind what the man was saying, that women need to be protected, that women need people to speak up for them. Women need a strong man to protect them. You're welcome for proving the point. So all of this feminist bullshit out there that women are equal to men and women can do anything men can do is complete bullshit. It's always been complete bullshit. And you, in your subliminal mind, when you can't even listen to the words that somebody is saying because you have perceived that they have said something bad about women, you are proving the point that you don't believe women can fight their own battles. You believe that they need a strong man to stand up for them. There it is right there. So again, I don't know why that popped in my head, because of listening to Piers just, whine about all these people are saying all these horrible things online. And it's like, you do that, bro. You've been doing that forever. So anyway, let's listen to a little bit more of this and then we'll move on.
Then the ones who really are that thing get to operate much more freely, I think.
That may be true. That's not my first concern. My first concern is the innocent falsely accused. Always. It is better to let people get away with crimes than it is to punish a single innocent man. That has always been a bedrock assumption of American justice and of justice itself. You can't punish the innocent. Of course, Israel specializes in punishing the innocent, killing the families of people they don't like. So it's not a concept that people like Ben Shapiro understand or care about.
Listen to
families itself. You can't punish the innocent. Of course, Israel specializes in punishing the innocent, killing the families of people they don't like. So it's not a
so again, this is Tucker saying that Israel specializes in that, but then at the same time, he'll go, now, I don't think Israel's bad, and I've never really said anything bad about Israel. I know a lot of people from Israel, a lot of fans, a lot of friends, a lot of Jewish people, a lot of supporters.
Concept that people like Ben Shapiro understand or care about, but it's the basis of Western civilization. So you do not accuse or penalize innocent people, much less kill them. A. B. This is a universal principle. It is not specific to one ethnic group or one bloodline. The principle is you cannot attack or penalize people, punish them for the sins, real or perceived, of their ancestors, period. And in the United States right now, and this has been true for 60 years, the only group that is routinely denied jobs, promotions, federal grants, college admission to Harvard.
Oh, crap. I was ranting and I missed this. Andrew dropped a $100. Andrew, thank you. Says, hail. As hilarious as your reaction to drunk Alex Jones was, he actually dropped a real gem with his take on Israel. He had a solid analogy with the duck imprinting and how normies are breaking out of social engineering. They are looking for an easy answer. Listen, Alex Jones, like I said, I think Alex Jones is so on point most of the time. Nobody is right about everything, and that's just not how reality works. We're also in an ever-changing internet, and so to keep up with the ever-changing internet, in order to stay relevant or to keep up with algorithms or whatever, there's certain ways you have to approach things. But ultimately, there are few people in all of media that have been as right about so much as Alex Jones. And look, man, you're going to be, the people that love you are going to define you off of your successes, and the people that hate you are going to define you off of your losses. Welcome to being successful. So the people that hate Alex Jones are going to always point to, the Sandy Hook thing. That's it. The people that, hate Tom Brady always point to his losses in the Super Bowl. That's how that works. It's not specific to one person or anything like that. That's just how the world works and how success works. Alex Jones is more right than wrong by a wide margin. I mean, Alex Jones is probably in the 90% of things he was right about. And we're talking like crazy things that nobody else is willing to talk about. And so that's why I always say, like, it doesn't really matter what Alex Jones does at this point in time. His legacy and his body of work is in, it's locked in, man. And I will forever respect Alex Jones, even if tomorrow he starts saying the worst things in the world about Trump or goes off the wagon on, some thing, whatever. I don't care. Alex Jones is the fucking man. So thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it, brother. 3 for 20 says, in case anybody's interested in the root of geopolitics, 2 of the 4 wives, 2 of Mullah's 4 wives just arrived and admitted into UK, headed to IRGC owned 2.5 million London townhouse. 2 wives arrived and admitted today in Toronto. What the fuck, allies? Well, thank you, 3. It's good to see you here too, by the way. I haven't seen you lately. You've probably been in the chat. So, but good to see you as always. And I try to keep an eye on the chat. I try to always see who's here. Try to see, like, there's names that don't pop up for a while. I'm like, oh, I hope they're okay. So, but yeah, the question is, like, all the way to Canada. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Where did you get that information from? I'd like to know. Can you tag me in something like that? Because if you have any information on that, I'd like to get more information on it. 1992 Space Movie says, Jeremy never reads my super chats. Let's see. Ryan's black girlfriend for 20 says, men can step aside. I need a sugar papa. I'm not sure how to respond to that one. You kind of got me on that one. Harley Dave says, joke's on you, Jeremy. We've been trolling this whole time. I can't believe you keep moving Trump's goalpost. You should leer more gooder. Leer more gooder. Hashtag leer more gooder. I hope you're doing well, Harley freaking Dave. Good to see you. Arclight says, Jeremy is okay not seeing me, but too bad he is stuck with me. I'm going to take that as a compliment. That's all. We'll just leave it at that. No, MC says, Tucker, Piers, and Kelly are all mainstream TV woke sellouts in the past. I don't disagree. Zachary says, I don't like Ben Shapiro, but saying he wants to ban people for anti-Semitism is a reach from Tucker. The problem is that Ben throws around the label too much. All of these people, all these people live in glass houses. Yeah, I think it's definitely some major hyperbole. Demise on Rumble says, for fuck's sake, Jeremy's reading is giving me a fucking headache tonight. Just tonight? Just tonight? I figure you'd be used to it by now. By the way, the poll will end it with 1,200 votes, and the anti-Israel crowd more annoying than the pro-Israel crowd. Both very annoying, but one a little more annoying than the other. Thank you, Zachary. I appreciate it. Alex Erico says, IDOT shirt will be here Monday, Meta PC code 199. VJ the Vigilant says, IDOT clown posse. John Wayne says, the Blue Texan is an oxymoron. Emphasis on moron. Mudkip says, Mario Kart World win when I feel it in my bones, Jeremy. Garfield's Bizarre Interest says, would you rather be trapped in an elevator with Hassan or Vosh? Is it Vosh? Is how you say it? I mean, I can't say I'm overly familiar with the Vosh guy, but I'm just gonna I guess here's my logic here. Maybe Hassan's girlfriend Valkyrie will be with him, and at least there's some eye candy in that event. Okay, so I'm gonna say Hassan because hopefully Valkyrie will be there. All right, there. We'll leave it at that. Okay. VJ the Village says, in my bones tax. Fentanyl Floyd says, Jeremy, don't go to the top of the building in Iran. Phil says, keep Jeremy off buildings in Iran tax. Jeremy the Cyborg says, please check tags. That clown of 199. Oh, I have to look that one up. Let's see here. Vosh. Yeah, I haven't heard of Vosh spoken about in a long time. Yeah, he's really not on my radar much. Cool Bear says, did you see the Lore Master Star Wars video today? You're a big focus. He had to change the title because he put KKK as KK is a Nazi. I haven't watched it yet. I've been streaming all day, so I'll probably check it out when I get time. Plank Time says 80% of Iranian oil goes to China. Nader's channel says many clowns will make Phil happy. Phil Butler says, been waiting for this since 1979, cheap bastard tax. Phil says, apparently I'm Phil My now. Joey says, Jeremy, I've been missing out on your live streams. I used to get notifications when you go live, but not anymore. How come I don't get them? The only thing I can say, and I don't know if this works, YouTube is an ever-changing system. The algorithm is always changing. So I will give you an old thing that I was told about years ago. Have no idea if it worked then. Don't know if it works now. Unsubscribe and then resubscribe and click the notification bell. That's the only thing that I know that can help, is just to unsub and then resub to, if you're not getting now, if you're getting the notifications, don't do that, because then you may mess it with it there. So if you're getting them, don't do that. But if you're having issues with them, that's the only thing I know of. But that was a long time ago. I was told that. Robot Boobs is goalpost tax. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like I said, YouTube is basically like a woman. Just when you think you got it figured out, you find out you don't know shit. And that's pretty much YouTube in a nutshell. You're like, oh, I got this all figured out. And you're like, and then like you wake up like the next day and you're like, I have no idea what this bitch is thinking. I have zero idea what's going on. That's YouTube right there. Tommy says, as a U.S. merchant marine officer, I'd appreciate if you look into and talk about the Trump suspension of the Jones Act. It's pro-consumer. It's at the expense of strategic value. U.S. screwed merchant marine. Do you have Can you shoot me an email on a specific story that you have? If not, I mean, I can look into it independently, but if there's like specifically something you want me to look into, I can. Ryan's black girlfriend says, you and Ryan and ABF need to pay child support is what it means, foo. Thank you. I have a clip for you.
All right. Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant, I swallow knickers come? No idea.
There you go. Good old John Campia there for you. John becomes a new member. Thank you. Mar Millen says, I built my own script to check for Cobra Cast going live because I kept getting no notifications. Wasn't a main machine, so I caught this late. Well, I'm glad you finally showed up, buddy. So good to see you, Mar Millen. Hail to you. John, it says, look into the data centers they are now building in Texas. Okay. What's up, John? And you just became a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, you got Jess mad in the chat now. You got Jess fired up. Don't get her fired up. Heir to the Empire says, happy Friday the 13th. Don't be a panicking. Trust in Don's plan. Joey says, happy the Friday the 13th. Tax. Hail the Snake Pit. Delirious Washington with 2. Jeremy is gay for $1. Cowboy says, a guy in the chat said he was visiting Trump Tower and getting a Trump burger yesterday. Do you think he got the Trump pork chop sandwich instead? General Duality says, just got home from watching sprint car racing. What a fun motorsport. Saw multiple crashes. Luckily, the drivers were safe afterwards. I'm happy to hear that. Sprint cars are awesome. Jupiter Knight says, Tucker is a nutter now. Russia changed him. Mr. Blue Sky says, Jeremy, that guy needs to send you a super chat for wasting everyone's time by pussying out and not responding. Guess I'll do it for the little female dog. Well, it looks like he was trolling the whole time, so major respect to him. Mitchell says, the Iran school, 160 to 70 students, over 300 parents, no pictures or posts on social media, really nothing. Meanwhile, we see celebrations and Trump dance. Very good point that I've heard many people talk about. So here's one of the things about this Iran school situation that we have heard. There's no real proof that it happened. We've heard reports that it happened, but we've seen nothing that actually supports that it did happen. Doesn't mean it didn't. I'm just saying that the people that are running with this narrative don't have the proof either. They only have the report, and they're running with it as it's a fact. And we've seen this so many times. And my entire argument is the people that are pretending to be offended over this don't actually care about anybody in Iran and any of the kids that are affected. They don't really care. Now, if it did happen, it sucks and we should address it. But, Ministry of One Thing says Tucker isn't America first. He's anti-Israel first. Jupiter Knight says Canada can't stop taking L's since booing the USA. Harley Dave says poll. What poll? Which one? Let me see. Lapco says that the most annoying people are the ones that bring up Israel in any context. Correct. And from my experience, the people that do that more are the anti-Israel people. They bring up Israel all the time, no matter what. Israel did this. Israel did that. Israel's controlling this. Israel's controlling that. And you're like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Let's see. Jay Stormtown says, how the F do you guys make it $1.99? It only lets me put $5. So yeah. And they're all annoying, bro. So he's wanting to know how you guys send a $1.99 super chat. Like not the proper $1.99, but like $1.99. I don't know. I tend to only send like in increments of 5, 10, 15, 20 up to 50. But like, so I don't know how you get the one. I don't think I've ever sent the $1.99. Nas says, who's more annoying? Why not yes for both? John says, where are Tucker's facts coming from? Just Rock says, Jeremy, today was an holy crap. What in the world is that all about? Did the chat just get hacked? Eric K, you okay there, buddy? Did Eric butt dial the chat? Is that what happened? Ban Eric for spam. That's gonna be a new meme now. What happened? Just said it. His cat jumped on the keyboard. Oh my God. V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta. Spammer. Get him. Russ says, Jeremy, today was an eye-opening experience. When you go to shave your backside, there is no more hair in there. You might think. So fresh and clean. What? Lying Dog Face Pony Slayer says, very few Americans could stand at living in a Muslim country. The vast majority would choose to live in Israel. Most pro-Palestinians would choose Israel. Charlie says, Ove. John says, Tucker will not call out Islam. He's compromised. Rootless Redneck says, Tucker is honest because no man would fake his laugh. Peter says, hey, Jeremy, your streams vids have really been helping me through some shitty times lately. Thanks for everything. Also, that Tucker parody had me rolling. Well, I'm happy to hear that, brother. Happy to hear that, man. And hope everything gets better for you. I really appreciate it. Tay says, no. 3 says, Tulsi TV, Persian News had videos of them all arriving and making their way through the airports, left in black SUVs. Can't pronounce their names. Okay, noted. Thank you. John, I've been here since 2016, just was unemployed for the last year, but now building a data center in North Texas. Hey, man. Well, congratulations. I'm happy to hear that. I really appreciate you being here for as long as you have. That's a hell of a lot of support, man. So thank you so much. And congrats on what you're doing. Cycloptic says, for 10 says, how should I reach out to you to give you insider info? Well, I mean, you can always email me, jeremy@geeksandgamers.com. I don't run with insider info. That's not my cup of tea. But I mean, I'm willing to read it and look into it, but I don't run with insider info. I don't talk about it because so much out there that people can throw at you that you don't know if it's true. And I don't like being the breaking news guy. But you can, pass that on, or you can just DM me on Twitter. You can DM me on Twitter, at D-Day Cobra right there. I'd be happy to look at it. Cooper says, it's funny we are seeing competition come back and people don't know what to do. I hope it continues. Agreed. Daniel with a 199. Nas says, call 911. Eric K had a stroke. TJ says, VTax. Loser Alter Ego says, I just dropped my dog off to an F&B for the first time. If he is any good at it, he will be making more than me. I might even get another puppy. Well, congratulations on that. Mar Millen with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Captain JPS says, cat jumping on keyboard tax. Can relate. Robert says, spam VTax. Wyoming Squatch says, the 199 don't allow text. They got to be 2. Got it. Phil with a 199. Clip Farm with a 199. Sean Living Life says, hands down, the best Piers interview was the one where Tucker called Piers out for being scared to say the F word, which he said repeatedly. That was funny. I remember that one. Over on Rumble, Miniature Von Think says, I was fine with Tucker until he implied our troops systematically grape women and children to the point where he can predict it's happening. I'm sorry, no. F all the way off. What the F, bro? I agree. Him saying that was just absolutely crazy, man. Steven Strait says, follow Jeremy on Rumble. Rumble notifications work. Then you can watch on whatever platform you want. Now, that's not a bad idea, Stephen Strange. So for those that are having issues on YouTube with notifications, even if you don't want to watch on Rumble, Stephen Strange is saying, follow Jeremy on Rumble. Rumble notifications work. And then you can watch whatever channel you want. So there you have it. Mod Eric says, what do you think of the Malcolm in the Middle Life's Still Unfair trailer? I am shocked that they're making a Malcolm in the Middle, a new one. I'm not really interested in it. So, but yeah, it looked really cringy to me. Check this out. Massive explosion on I-471 near Cincinnati, Ohio, Cause unknown. Reports that a motor carrier number is linked to a foreign entity, but I have not yet independently confirmed that yet. Casualties unknown. This right here is the video. Holy shit.
So someone from that. You gotta hit him. So someone from that. You gotta hit him.
All right, so I'm looking for more information on this right now. So this is the report right here. I'm looking to see if I can get some more info right now. Let's see here. Wait a minute. He says Ohio right here. Okay. Nick Sortor says Ohio. Raw Alert says numerous emergency vehicles are on the scene after a massive tanker exploded on a highway in Kentucky. At this time, numerous law enforcement officers and emergency crews are on the scene in Newport, Kentucky, responding to a massive fire after a tanker exploded. This is in Kentucky. What? So this is in Kentucky. And then we also have a deal. I'm a little confused right now. I'm actually very confused right now. Near Ohio, so it's the same one? Is that what we're saying? Oh, he said near Ohio. Okay, so it's right there at the border then. So that's probably what it is. Okay. I was about to say, what's going on? So this is the same exact story. See, because other people are reporting near Ohio. So is that on the border? This is crazy looking, man. Rapid report. I thought that was rapid response. So rapid report. All right, let's see if we can get some more information right now. This is 4 miles outside of Cincinnati. Okay. Yeah, it's tough when you live in that area. And I've actually been in that situation before. Alabama, Georgia line, not the group or whatever the fuck they are, but the, Alabama, Georgia line. I lived in that area. And so you would literally like go to the store and you're in Georgia, or you go to get gas and you're in Georgia, Florida, Georgia line, whatever the fuck they are. I don't know who the fuck they are. No one knows where Newport, Kentucky is. That is true. Nobody knows. Not one single human being knows. Let's see. Alabama geography trademarked. Let's see if I can find out anything else. Okay. So that's 29 minutes ago was the last update right here that we had. Nothing so far. All right, I'll keep looking into this and see if we get any updates. But I don't see anything right now. There was another thing that you guys wanted me to look into, and I'm going to, and that's the Asmongold Hassan thing you wanted me to look at. I got a super chat about this earlier. You said it was on Asmongold Clips. I guess something to do with Hassan, which somebody I don't pay much attention to. Is this what you're talking about? 5 hours ago? And maybe that's it. Let's see here.
Hassan says, enjoy PTSD. Why would you do this? Does he want to get banned?
15 years out from Iraq, eat my balls. Do you even have your balls remaining, or did a fucking IED explode them for you, dumbass? Shut the fuck up talking about Islam. You are an infinitely bigger terrorist than any random Muslim ever could be. Shut your bitch ass up.
Do we want to look at the terrorist attacks that have happened in Europe and America? We don't want to take that to the bank, do we? We don't want to look this up. Let's just take his word for it.
Yeah. Go enjoy your PTSD, asshole. Fuck you.
Why would you say this? You knew Frogan got in trouble for that. Why would you say this?
I have no pity at all for.
It's because they hate America. That's why they say it. You can't cover up your hatred. At some point, it will show itself. They hate America. They despise America. That's why they will say things like this, because you can't hide your hatred.
Any soldiers. I hope you get PTSD.
Aha! So this was all a plan to steal my oats.
Who's to say he had PTSD either? How much do you want to bet he's going to be banned on Sunday again? I don't know, man.
Shut your bitch ass.
It's obvious that Islam has a problem with terrorism. Who am I getting this information from? Muslims. They're the ones that are worried about this in their own countries. This isn't like some kind of crazy, where is this opinion coming from? They think this.
Go enjoy your PTSD, asshole. You imagine having the audacity to be like, yeah, I went to Iraq, I went to Iraq, and it's actually Islam that's the biggest danger. You're a danger to your family.
He's a danger to his family? Wow, okay, I didn't know this. This is new.
And a danger to yourself.
Wow, he's getting really personal about this.
Law, that's getting clipped, Lamont. I don't give a dude. If you go to Iraq and you learn that lesson, you realize that was wrong, you're welcome here. You come back.
He's so angry, man. He's so angry. It's so obvious that this guy has pure hatred for the United States of America and anyone that loves this country and anyone that fights for this country and anyone that wants to protect this country.
Back from Iraq, and you talk about how I hate Islam. Then you didn't learn anything. You're goddamn cattle.
You didn't learn anything. He was supposed to go to Iraq to learn about Islam. I thought he was supposed to go to Iraq to try to do whatever the military's mission was there. Like, I'm pretty sure Iraq isn't like a high school. And what are we doing here?
Whatever, bitch. I'll start live streaming on YouTube tomorrow. Suck my dick. No, you're getting clipped.
I mean, to be fair, this is it's a bad clip. It is. Like, I think everybody can acknowledge, even he knows, another clip of Hassan, of another streamer on Twitch wishing PTSD on another American veteran.
The same people like Asmongold who
So it is me. It is all about me as usual. Okay, so yeah, I care about veterans. Of course, I care about veterans. That's why I don't want to have our money go to Somalians, just so it can go to veterans.
Really? That's what we're doing?
Yeah.
If Twitch can apply this double standard, literally doesn't say a single damn thing about that, but then turns around and tries to ban me for this shit. Fuck this.
So he's preemptively getting mad at something that hasn't even happened. He's like pre-malding
this platform. I will never come back here.
Why? Like, what? Okay.
Y'all are a bunch of dumb bitches too for being like, oh, you're gonna get clipped.
I mean, to be fair, they were right.
Dumb motherfucker doesn't even realize his own lived experiences should have taught him a very valuable.
Dude, I love that he is so upset. He is so bothered right now. I remember the thing about his dog really had him rattled really badly. So this is funny.
The lesson.
Maybe they did. Ever think of that? Maybe going up against ISIS and Al Qaeda for like years is going to make somebody more negative towards Islam. It's a pretty reasonable expectation to have, right? It'll look pretty weird if he said that, like, you know, enjoy your PTSD. And it's like, you know, he doesn't get in trouble for that because they banned Frogan for the same thing. So, yeah, what a bad time for him. And really having a bad time. Very.
Jeez. I think that wasn't the clip you wanted me to react to, but that is the first one I saw. There's another one on there, but I'm not going to react to that one right now. But that's Hassan is he's losing it, man. He's definitely losing it. So that's pretty damn funny, and I enjoy his pain. I really do. But I try to avoid him at all costs because I just find Hassan to just be. He's not even like, it's just frustrating because he's just so unlikable. And I know that everything out of his mouth is disingenuous. So I'm glad Asmon, who's, you know, one of the biggest streamers in the world, I'm glad Asmon's always roasting him. So, all right, back to this. I'm not seeing any more updates on this story right now. So this is the latest we have is this one right here between him posting it and Nick Sortor. That's all we got. I have no more updates that I'm seeing at the moment. Let me see if we can see if I can search this out. What is this guy's name? There we go. No, nothing so far anyway. At least not from the people that I follow. I'm not seeing any updates right now. But if you're just tuning in, large explosion and fire reported near Memorial Parkway south of Cincinnati, Ohio. No details or cause or casualties yet. So that's where we are right now. One more time.
Someone from that. Someone from that.
What was that? What was that? Was that like a gunshot?
Someone from that. You gotta hit him. Someone from that.
Huh. Well, guess we will get more information as news breaks. So, let's see here. It sounded like a gun to me, but I'm no expert. So, I mean, I did a couple of tours in Modern Warfare too, but that's it. Okay, we got that. So this is near this is on I-471, and we have no new details. That's it. So we shall see. Dark Force Rises says, did Hassan send his dog to Allah? Don't see the dog. It's a good question. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been keeping up with anything Hassan has going on, so I don't know if the dog is still there or what. I have no idea. Coopster says, also, you are a beautiful man. Don't ever say that to me, please. Monica Sherman says, chat is takeover, mod Eric. That's right. Gloria of Romans Forever says, I was in Pensacola, Florida, and then drove 5 miles west and said it was Alabama. How is this possible? What was this time travel? It was. It was time travel. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a Get the membership. And Tommy says, lighter note, you have a modern Mustang. You ever thought of a classic toy? I have a 1965 Mustang Fastback. It's fully restored, red. Man, I would love a classic Mustang. But I don't know, man. All I care about is like reinvesting. Like I've considered selling my Mustang recently just because I'm just trying to dump everything back into Geeks and Gamers. And I am putting so much money out right now that I really don't have a reason to keep that car right now. So I might look at one down the road, but all I'm trying to do is reinvest everything into G&G at this point, man. And the website and all the other stuff we have going on. So it's hard to justify having two vehicles when, you know, I'm trying to do so many other things. So maybe down the road, I'll have an opportunity, but you know, we'll see. JDT199 says, this is the live equivalent of I'll just microwave whatever what's left in the fridge. Am I the only one who what the fuck are you saying? Are you insulting me? This is the live equivalent of I'll just microwave whatever's left in the I have done a lot of fucking streaming today. Don't judge me. Whatever's left in the fridge energy. Am I the only one you clicked the wrong tab? So you meant who clicked, not you clicked. Am I the only one who clicked the wrong tab and now feels bad for leaving? Hail the 199. Fuck me. That was tough. That was tough. All right. Beardo, is that you? All right, we're gonna end it there. I've done I think I'm at about 8 hours of streaming today so far. So Daniel says, I miss coming back from work in Advanced Auto Parts to go play Gears of War 3. Sad noises. Somebody says that was tough to listen to. Okay, hold on. Like, let's clarify. Let's get some clarification here, okay? When you say that was tough to listen to, are you talking about the entire stream or the most recent super chat read. It can apply to both, so I'm just trying to find out which one, because it can apply to both. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. Somebody said yes. There you go. The entire stream, just a super chat. Okay. All right, we're gonna end it there. Probably equal. I've got to get that clip of Trump. I'm gonna make probably equal. I'm gonna get that as a clip. That's gonna be in the rotation. But in all seriousness, been a long day, and I have stuff to do tomorrow. Expect a stream tomorrow night. I don't know what time yet, but there will be a stream tomorrow night. And again, one last time, RIP to Maggot Vomit, who his wife came in the chat earlier through his account and informed us that he had passed away. So rest in peace to Maggot Vomit. Sorry for your loss to his family. And really hate to hear that, man. So prayers up. Hopefully he's in a better place. Brady says, couldn't sleep and here you are. Blessing or curse? Good night. I'll leave that one up to the audience right there. So thank you for the support from all of you. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And again, don't forget the MegaCon stuff. We got a busy week next week. So my streaming schedule will be hit or miss from Wednesday to Sunday. I'll kind of be all over the place, but I hope to meet a lot of you here in Orlando. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a good night, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.